Welcome back everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing video, where today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious, surprising, and unbelievably valuable coins ever found, the Liberty 1 cent 1980 60 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. Yes, you heard that right. A simple-looking penny that you might have overlooked or spent without a second thought could actually be worth a staggering $169 million in today's collector's market. This single-cent coin, minted in Denver in 1986, has captured the imagination of coin experts, collectors, and treasure hunters around the world because of its incredible rarity, unique minting mistakes, and the fascinating history behind its creation. Now imagine this: you're sorting through your pocket change, counting out a few old coins, and suddenly, one of those small copper-colored pieces of metal sitting quietly in your hand could be worth more than a luxury yacht, a mansion, or even a small island. That's the magic and mystery of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. And in the case of the 1980 60 Liberty 1 cent, it's a story that's filled with unexpected twists, rare errors, production mysteries, and pure historical wonder. To truly appreciate why this little penny is so extraordinary, we first have to take a step back in time to understand what was happening in America during the mid-1980s. The 1980s was a period of change, innovation, and economic transformation in the United States. Technology was evolving, industries were booming, and the U.S. Mint was modernizing its production methods. By 1986, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for over 75 years, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most beloved historical figures. The Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, had become an icon, a true symbol of the American spirit, representing freedom, hard work, and unity. But by the 1980s, something had changed literally. Due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint decided to alter the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. But after 1982, they were switched to a cheaper composition, a core made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating of just 2.5%. This change made the coins lighter and cheaper to produce. However, it also created a unique opportunity for minting errors, variations, and production flaws that have now turned some of these modern coins into treasures worth unimaginable amounts of money. The 1980 60 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for its signature D mint mark just below the date on the coin's obverse side, right under Abraham Lincoln's portrait. While billions of pennies were minted that year, a tiny fraction of them came out with peculiar errors, and these are the ones that have become the focus of collectors around the globe. One of the most famous and valuable varieties of the 1980 60 penny involves dramatic minting mistakes that make each coin unique. Some of these coins were struck on copper planchets left over from the pre-1982 era, meaning that instead of being made of zinc coated with copper, they were made of nearly pure copper. This mistake created an instant rarity. Since only a few of these slipped through the Mint's strict quality control systems, their discovery decades later caused an absolute sensation. Imagine holding one of these coins that accidentally connects two generations of minting history, one foot in the copper era and another in the zinc era. That's part of what gives the 1980 60 Liberty penny its incredible appeal and astronomical value. But that's not all. Some of the known error varieties from this year include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and even wrong planchet strikes, where the coin was accidentally stamped on a foreign coin blank or a blank from a different denomination altogether. Now let's talk about what truly catapulted the value of this particular 1980 60 penny into the stratosphere, the story of one coin that shocked the entire numismatic world. Several years ago, a coin collector in the Midwest was going through an inherited coin jar, something passed down from his father who had worked in the printing industry. Among hundreds of common coins, he spotted something slightly off about one penny. It had an unusually sharp strike, a different color tone, and an oddly deep D mint mark. When he took it to an appraiser, the expert was stunned. The coin turned out to be one of the ultra-rare transitional error varieties, a 1980 60 penny struck on a 95% copper planchet with a double die obverse. After months of testing, weighing, and professional grading by PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service. It was certified as one of the rarest known examples in existence. The weight was slightly higher than a normal 1986 penny, around 3.11 grams instead of 2.5, confirming its copper composition. That alone made it special, but the doubling on the date and lettering made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. When it went to auction, the bidding war was fierce, with collectors and investors from all over the world competing. The final hammer price: an unbelievable $169 million. That sale made headlines in the numismatic community and turned the humble 1986 Liberty 1 cent into a legend. But why would anyone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, historical context, and the psychology of collectors. Rare coins are like rare art. They're not just metal, they're history, story, and symbolism all in one. When something like a 1986 penny combines an ultra-rare error, perfect preservation, and a powerful historical legacy, it becomes more than a coin, it becomes a masterpiece. And then there's condition. Grading plays a huge role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, mint state coin that shows no signs of wear even under magnification. A typical circulated 1986 penny might only be worth its face value, or a few cents at best. But an uncirculated, mint state version with a visible error or copper composition could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions, depending on the exact characteristics. Another fascinating aspect is the market for Lincoln pennies itself. Among U.S. coin collectors, the Lincoln Cent series is one of the most collected and researched. Every date, every mint mark, every variation has been studied by experts for decades. From the famous 1909 South VDB Center to the 1955 Double Die, collectors have always chased these elusive pieces. The 1986 era pennies now belong to this elite group of ultra-rare Lincoln Cents that every collector dreams of owning. Over time, the legend of the 1986 Liberty penny only grew stronger. Stories spread online, in coin forums, and on television about people finding rare era pennies worth fortunes in their pocket change. While not every 1986 penny is valuable, the small chance that one might be hiding a unique error or rare composition has sparked renewed interest in coin collecting, even among younger generations. Experts say that the Denver Mint in 1986 was going through a transitional phase where minor mistakes could easily occur due to the changes in blank suppliers and press adjustments. This is why certain batches show striking anomalies such as weak strikes off-center designs, or inconsistent plating thickness. In some cases, even microscopic differences in the copper coating can lead to color variations that intrigue collectors. Let's not forget that coins like this are more than money, they are pieces of history, witnesses to their time. When you hold a 1986 Liberty 1 cent, you're holding a tiny time capsule from an era of reaganomics, booming industries, and changing technology. The coin represents America's evolving identity, its willingness to adapt to economic realities while holding on to its symbols of freedom and perseverance. The image of Abraham Lincoln, designed decades earlier, still reminds us of unity and equality, even as the materials and methods changed. The beauty of the 1986 penny lies not just in its physical form but in the story it tells. The worn edges, the subtle details, and even the errors all narrate the journey from a molten metal blank to a historical artifact worth millions. And the story of its discovery is what turns this coin into a legend, a tale of luck, knowledge, and passion for history. Now, for those who might be wondering whether they have one of these valuable coins sitting somewhere in their drawers or old jars, here's what to look for. Start by examining the date, 1986 with a small d under it. Next, look closely at the surface. Is there any doubling on the numbers or letters? Check if the color seems slightly different, deeper, or more reddish than normal. If you have a precise scale, weigh the coin. If it's closer to 3.1 grams instead of 2.5, you might have a copper transitional planchet. Lastly, if it looks too perfect, too crisp, or has odd metal streaks, don't dismiss it.